Brent, what's up? You haven't heard from me for a while, and I bet you thought I had gone away, but I'm coming back like the Dark Knight. I'm only throwing that in there because Quentin went off on how much he loved Batman, and he told me a funny story, but I won't go into that because today we are gonna do some desking power administration training. Um, so to get to the desking power, we're going to show you how to go to the admin menu and go in and change the settings of your desking. So you're going to go to the admin menu. Sorry, someone on my Gmail is chatting me up like crazy. I'm going to pause and take care of that real quick. Okay, so we're in the admin settings. So we go to desking setup and admin level 1. So we have two different levels, and it'll just show us a different access. The level 1 will show us these different tabs. I'm going to go to level 2, which will enable us to go through all these tabs, and I'm just going to go through the tabs one by one. So we'll go to back to the admin menu and go to desking setup and admin level 2. Alright, so once this loads, I'm on Verizon Flash Card. Okay, so here we are. We're in the defaults. So this is the different defaults of the dealership for your desking. So we can put a dealer dock fee in there that's, a default. We can look at the purchase DMS code. As you look at all these different fields, we're able to put a default in there. So the default prep fee for a car, we can put whatever amount we would like. We have our different acquisition fees for the DMS codes, and we're able to put the defaults in there. Now we're able to put a default APR. Just showing you, Brent, that I understand what an APR is. I studied business management / finance in college, so if I say this wrong, I'm going to sound like an idiot. Basically, the APR is the amount of money that when you take out a loan for the car, it's the amount that you're going to be charged interest on. So you're going to gain paying interest on that loan throughout time. So it's going to compound at that 4.5% with however many terms. However, I don't know if it's compounded yearly, compounded monthly, compounded daily. So as we look at the term, so the term is 60 months. So it'll be compounded 4.50 divided by whatever that term is, basically. That could be wrong in that last part. But percent down is 10%. We can make that it's automatically comes up on your screen as 10%. Days to first payment, which is the DTFP, we can set that to whatever. That's for the newer vehicles. That we can change the APR for the used vehicles, the different terms. We can separate those two, which is really cool because then you can have two different things. Miscellaneous defaults, and this is probably pretty similar to your ADP. We can look at these different limits for the DTFP. We can look at the lease defaults, and we can look at the money factor, which is 4.90. That money factor will be broken down amongst the terms. That's basically what the money factor is. The money factor is the APR broken down to the term. So whatever that number is, like if the APR was 5 and it was compounded quarterly, whatever, like it would be whatever 5 divided by 4 is, that would be your money factor. That's what I understand. I could be completely wrong. You can tell me that. Then we can be able to look at the lease and tax setup and say that, okay, the tax is paid and drive off and capitalized costs. So capitalized costs would be how much came, how much you initially received the capitalization of that money. Then we have our new pack amount, used pack amount, and we can set up these different defaults. Cool. Now we move to taxes. On the taxes, this is something that you're going to want to have call support and have them set it up. They're going to set up the different sales tax, and for the different states, it's based off of area codes. So there's that. Now we have our fees. So here we have different fees for the car, and we're able to set them up. We can go ahead and click on this tire fee. As you can see, the fee ID gives us a fee ID. We can set a default, like it's the default fee, like it's on all of them. The fee name, fee type, vehicle type, deal type, the different purchase, DMS codes, lease, capta, all these different codes. They could be different states, and then we'll be able to put the fee amount. We can click taxed or calculated. These are different fees. You can look. So if it's default, it'll have that red check there. That registration, the uniform fee, and CA DMV automatically defaults on the fee. Banks. We put in the dealer ID for the bank. We're able to add their name, their alias, the address, the DMS info, their lender ID for the different loans. We can look at the set up the first pencil. We'll go in and adjust that. Lease. We're able to do a similar thing with the lease people. Set up dealer ID, go through and choose a lease type. You can set a default bank in here, as we can see, loan, bank, finance. Then we have our lease, and we can add these different things in with the lease. We can add these to the different doc fee and the drive off, dealer prep, all that. We can select the department type, fixed, round to next, go to the fixed amount. Compare. Okay, this is where we can go and kind of set up that matrix and separate different things. So when they do have different credit scores, we can set up, okay, for their credit score from 550 to 619, we're able to look in here, okay, year 2002, 2012, 2012, at a credit range of 550 to here. This can be the term, the buy rate's here, the sell rate's here, if that makes sense. So then this is the same for the lease. It'll show us the lease ones over here on the right side. We're able to change the markup, the max markup, and save those. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to talk about what I think the buy rate and the sell rate is. You're going to probably have to correct me on this, Brent, and explain to me this. But the buy rate is the rate that the bank is charging you to take out the loan. It's not just the interest, but it's the buy rate that you're receiving from, like, kind of necessarily a transaction fee, but it's a rate on what you're buying. The sell rate would be the rate that you're being charged, the sell rate for the car, to be able to buy the car, which those can completely backwards. Term. So the same thing on the other side. It's buy rate, sell rate, with the markup being the price, the percentage of how much you need to mark the price up to. So if the price needs to be marked, I don't know, from what I understand, what I'm guessing is it's almost like inflation. It's like marking up the price to this percentage. Brent, I'm gonna be honest, I just BS through those last definitions. Go ahead and correct me. Alright, vehicle service. This is very similar to the other ones. We can put product name, we can set different defaults. That'll show that it's a default. We can add the address, DMS code, term, miles, the deductible on the vehicle service contract. Then we have our gap that we're able to buy through here. Very similar as the previous ones. The gap is basically them covering us. Like if I get in an accident, the car was worth $20,000, but they value it at $15,000. I still have to pay $5,000 off. That gap covers that. Maintenance, there's that. We have our aftermarket, so we can go in and describe these. Aftermarkets being maybe like a rack or alloy wheels or different things like that. We have our reconditioning, which coming on trade-in, what we have to do to that. So there's all that admin, and that is that video.